Call this meeting to order. First is swearing in of the newly elected officials. You would stand, please.
Stand.
Mr. Curtis, if you will raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Jim Curtis,
I, Jim Curtis,
do solemnly affirm that I will truly perform the duties of council member of the city of Sky Valley. That's a little long, let's try it. Do solemnly affirm
that
that I will truly perform the duties
I will truly perform the duties
of council member of the city of Sky Valley,
of council member of the city of Sky Valley,
and that I will support and defend the charter
and that I will support and defend the charter
thereof,
thereof,
as well as the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia
as well as the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You just sign these and have them notarized. Then you'll be official.
You're not yet.
Now we have to, item 3 is the, as the council appointed the new president. Yep.
It would be an honor for me to make a nomination in that regard. My intent would be to nominate Mr. Neil Howard by virtue of his long and honorable service to the city. Are there any other councilors who would like to join in?
I'll second the motion.
Co-nomination.
I want to second it too.
I'll find out on the second.
Okay.
Moved and second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Well, I want to thank the council for their support and faith in me, and I will definitely work hard to bring 2019 to be one of the most unified, forward-looking movements that the city has seen in a while. Not that we haven't, every council passed and has always addressed what's best, I believe, for the citizens of the city of Sky Valley. What I ran on when I ran for council this time was a way to bring all our voices together more in a way where we can hear and express and unify what we want Sky Valley to be. And that's through the workshops that I propose. And I notice we don't have a workshop scheduled for this month, or a council later this month. And I'd like to have some of the other councils possibly join me, because it only takes 3 of us to call for a meeting. And I'd like your support to establish workshops, a workshop and a council meeting in the remainder of this month, and get us off rolling, especially with a workshop where we can talk about a little about the past, but mostly about the future and what we want as citizens and council and staff moving forward on the agenda and as goals for us to unify. Thank you.
Neil, are you looking for comments on that?
No.
No?
You gotta loosen up there.
Long enough there.
You'll be
Item
invited
four,
back.
we've set the regular council meetings for the full year, and we didn't put down workshops, but workshops are automatic the week before, providing we have something to call a workshop on. And that's why we didn't put any dates down there. But it is automatic that we have one every month or whenever we have something in the agenda that would call for a workshop. So it isn't cut in stone like our regular meetings, and this is the regular council meetings that we're going to have. Today is the regular council meeting for the month of January. And so then
Is there a procedure for setting an agenda for a workshop?
you have to ask, before you speak.
Oh, you gotta stop.
Oh,
No.
Mr. Mayor, is there a procedure for putting agenda items on a workshop agenda? And is it necessary to have a formal agenda, or is this in part for informal discussion among the council members?
When the agenda, you have the same for workshops time limit, which is a week before the workshop. Same as for the agenda, it's the week before the regular council meeting. And if you have a item that you would like to discuss in the workshop, you see the city manager, and she will add it to the workshop.
Very good.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we could have the invocation, please.
Life affords no higher pleasure than that of surmounting difficulties, passing from one step of success to another, forming new wishes and seeing them gratified. He that labors in any great or laudable undertaking has his fatigues first supported by hope, and afterwards rewarded by joy. To strive with difficulties and to conquer them is the highest human facility. Samuel Johnson.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of December 13th, 2018.
Can I ask a question? It's Connie.
On the minutes? You
Yeah.
gotta have an approval before you can speak about the minutes.
Okay, I approve it.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes, December 13th, special call meeting.
Have a second? Second. Second. Moved and second.
Can I speak?
Now you can.
What happened to the November 27th minutes? They're not online.
I would say you'd ask the city manager that.
I would say she's been pretty busy.
Yes. I'll have to go back and check out and maybe we'll just leave them off. Not have them on there, but I'll make sure they're on the next meeting. I do apologize for that. I have been a little busy. as
Yes, you
said.
have. Yes, you have, Ellen. That's all I wanted to ask.
Okay.
Okay. The adoption of the agenda. I would like to add on this one, removal of item 10, and add executive session, which is for legal purposes. Add that to go into executive session, so.
I'll make that motion.
Then move, second? Seconded. Moved and second.
I
Any
have,
questions?
I want to know, are we going to get an update on the SDS situation?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now.
I'm talking about the adoption of the agenda. I wanted to add it to it.
Let's finish one before you start with something else, please.
My mind's too fast.
Then moved, seconded to remove item 10 and add the executive session, which is legal. Any, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Now can we add the SDS? I make a motion that we can get an update on the SDS situation and answer a question I have regarding why did we file suit against the county and why was Mountain City in there too? So that's my question, so I make a motion that we put that on the agenda.
Do I have a second on that?
I second that.
Any comments?
I'm not in favor of adding it to the agenda. We can cover that in executive session for legal purposes.
All in favor of the adding of the SDS? All in favor?
Aye.
Adding it to what?
Adding it to the agenda.
Today's agenda?
All opposed?
Is that with the amendment or not?
Why?
I'm lost.
Mayor, if I can speak for a second?
Yeah.
The issue, as I understand it, is to put it on the agenda to discuss an open session, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Which the
Oh.
council,
to discuss what's been publicized already in the newspaper.
the council may and legally can have that discussion in executive session because it is for legal purposes in a lawsuit. So it can be done in executive session. It can be done in open session too if the council wishes to do so, but it's not required to do so.
As I understand, this is just a request for an update as to what is going on. Is
Yeah,
that
they
what I
don't have to
understand?
tell anything legally.
Yeah, that certainly seems like the kind of thing that can be done in public sessions.
Well, that's what I thought, and then it also was public that Mountain City was added into that lawsuit by us. I just wanted to have some questions answered, and that was public, so. My motion still stands.
But we had a vote. All in favor, add this to the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Are you speaking?
I'm not in favor of adding it to today's agenda, but I am definitely in favor of adding it
It's your
at
motion.
a
has been
future meeting when we go into
been defeated.
sufficient depth
Three to two.
for myself and our citizens to understand where we are, what's happening, where we are. We're due for a complete thorough
Okay,
update.
that's fine.
And I don't think we'd be ready to do that today, and that's why.
Could you all speak up, please? A little bit louder, just.
All right. Under mayor's remarks. We're starting out a new year. And we are looking forward to it. I have been very slack in my allowing people to speak and not to speak. The charter says that you have to raise your hand, be recognized, and state your name. So from starting now, that's what we're going to do. Be no interruptions. And at the end of a regular council meeting, there's if you have a lot of questions, we have a public forum and general comments. At that time, you only have one chance to speak, one person for 3-minute time. So, but thank you all for coming here today. It's really makes us feel good that the citizens are interested in the workings of the city. Council remarks. We'll start with you, Paul.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. Happy New Year. With the SDS question that Connie has, there's not an immediate answer. There's not really any more updates to give than what's already been put out in the paper public-wise. After we have our executive session, I'm happy to talk to anybody and answer any questions that y'all may have. Okay? Thanks for coming.
Yeah?
Morning, everyone. I hope that this year that the council can work together and work with the citizens of Sky Valley to accomplish what all of us would like to see, even though we've got some diverse opinions on how to do things and what to do. I'm just hopeful that this year that with a new council member, Jim Curtis, and Connie returning for her second term, that the experience and the issues that have cropped up in the past can be worked through, and that we can achieve some measure of success that everybody would be content with. I also would like to thank our most valuable resources, our employees, for the work that they've done. And under trying circumstances, with every department shorthanded, and as far as public works is concerned, dealing with some issues as far as weather that create major problems, and the last one being the storm, which is going to put James's crew months behind schedule as far as the trees and the rhododendrons that are down that need to be taken care of. Thank you all for attending.
Good morning, welcome. Thank you for being here. I want to add to what Al just said, thanking our city employees. It's been kind of a difficult time staying up with keeping all the roads clear, and this is a time of winter. We're not going to look beautiful all the time, but we do have shortages, and I do thank the city for what they're able to get done. And I want to thank the city for what they've done to make our little piece of heaven look so Christmassy, welcoming, and bright to to our citizens and to all of those that visit during this time of year. When you drive in and you see the decorations and the lighting, and I think that's something we can't forget as well, that they do. And I want to personally thank all my counselors, the city staff, and the city workers during my 2 months of back problems, a back operation, from which I'm very thankful for the surgeon and his skill, and I'm feeling better every day, and ready to hit the road running here. And I want to thirdly say how great it is to live in a place like Sky Valley, where the cards that I got, the phone calls I got, the visits I got, the support I got, made my recovery that much better. And although we have differences of opinion from time to time, I'm so glad that I can look everyone in the eye and say, you're a friend, and how much I appreciate it.
You,
And your opinions and how we can put this together and move forward, because there's a lot to do. And it's not that we so much disagree. Sometimes we disagree about the timing. And I can understand that as well. But thank you all for your support during my little episode. And let's put that behind us and move on. Thank you.
Can
Connie.
Jim go first before me?
Why?
Because he's a newbie.
We have a newbie last. Newbie last. He's got to learn more.
Oh, he's got to learn, okay.
He's gonna deserve his chance to speak.
Okay, are you ready? You're ready, okay, yeah. Happy New Year to everybody. And may 2019 give all of you and Sky Valley many blessings. Congratulations to our new counselor, Jim Curtis. And it's good to see that Neil Howard is back to work after his operation. I hate to disappoint any of you who supported me, but the past year on the council is more than I can bear and Bob can watch. At the first of the year, I was told I was on the other side. And as the year progressed, I began to realize exactly what that meant. The new council of 2018 began the year by reading prepared statements berating our city manager, and our mayor allowed this to continue. Former mayors Steve Brett, Jim Martindale, and Hugh Goodgame would not have allowed such public criticism of one of our employees at the council meeting. And I made the same unforgivable mistake as Linda made. I totally disagreed with their direction, their methods, and their management style. On September 25th at council remarks, I stated my concerns. On September 25th, I stated my concerns, and on November 27th at council remarks, Mayor McNair, Councilor Chip Durko, Councilor Paul Wheeler, led by Councilor Al Poinkowski, attacked me with a vengeance. And I refuse to allow them any more opportunities to chastise me in public council meetings, because I do not and never will share their agenda. Since the November 27th attack, Bob is fully behind me, as he was also affected. Effective immediately following this meeting, I will be resigning from the City Council of Sky Valley, and I will not be going into executive session because I'm resigning. Hold that.
You?
Wow. I'm struck with how many of the statements of my fellow councilmen I've agreed with. I believe in a diversity of opinion, and I hope to be offering a diversity of opinion. And I think that the way we handle different opinions is by discussing them respectfully, thoughtfully, and actually listening to other points of view. Minds don't get changed immediately. Sometimes it takes time. At any rate, I will be proceeding with this goal in mind, and I'm sure we will come to resolution of these issues.
All right, set the qualifying fees for 2019 general election.
Would you like me to read this?
Yeah.
It is, that one is incorrect because I had to do a correction on that. It should be mayor and 3 council members.
Yeah, it says mayor.
Okay. Yeah, and the date as well. So I just done it. Yeah. So I've got to make a few corrections on
You do
that.
have to,
I do have to make a few corrections on that.
would you still like me to read this?
You can. It just talks about the qualifying fees need to be discussed.
Right.
And we will be, due to her statement, we will have to have a special election.
I guess there will have to be a written.
I will have to have a written notice from her that she's resigning, and then we will have a special election.
Okay. All right, well, this notice will be running, I guess, in next week's paper, is that correct?
Yes.
Notice of qualifying fees for 2019 City of Sky Valley general election. Notice is hereby given that pursuant to OCGA 21-2-132C3 and Senate Bill 199, the qualifying fee for the offices of mayor and 3 council member seats to be filled in the November 5th, 2019 City of Sky Valley general election is set at $15. Such fees shall be paid to the city clerk by any candidate seeking his or her name placed on the November 5th, 2019 general election ballot. A pauper's affidavit may be filed in lieu of paying the qualifying fee. Qualifying for the offices listed above will begin at 8:30 a.m. on Monday, August 19th, and will end at 3 p.m. on Friday, August 23rd. There being the mayor and 3 council member whose term shall expire in 2019, qualifying will be to fill these 3 seats. Should less than 4 candidates qualify for the office of council member, qualifying will reopen on Monday, August 26th at 9 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, August 27th.
Question, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Doug,
Yes, sir.
is that a change in past procedure? I thought at one point that there were the nominating period, the filing period was open for a week, as this. But I don't recall that there was ever a provision in the past that it would reopen if there were not a certain number of,
That's the new Senate bill, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
The new Senate bill that was attached to that happened about 2 or 3 years ago. That was an additional time because you got to the point where smaller cities were not getting candidates to qualify, so therefore they had to extend the time.
so the wording of that was that we need to have at least 3 people file in order to close the
It would
filing
be
period? or
Less than 4.
4.
So, yeah, well, is that less,
It
4 or
would- it
less,
would be-
or?
It would have to be a mayor and 3 candidates.
Got it.
If we have 3 council members, that would be at the end of the year.
So you don't need 4 council?
No.
Okay, because I read that to imply that we wanted to make sure that there was always an election, that there was always competitive discussions during the elections. But that's not the intent.
That is not the intent.
Okay, thank you.
To have a motion to go into executive session.
Mr.
Now
Mayor,
we're gonna, you need to make a motion for the fees themselves since it's on the agenda, please. We need a motion on this item for the qualifying fees.
I move that we accept the qualifying fees as stated by Doug.
I'll second that.
All moved and second, all in favor?
All right.
All right, now I'd like to have a motion to go into executive session.
Ellen, that's it.
Ellen?
Yes. I just have a question. I'm Helen Weiler. Now that Connie has resigned, what's the proper procedure to replace her position for a 2-year term?
That's a good question. In fact, that will be in our charter. I don't have that with me. I will look at it as soon as I get out of here.
I can answer that for you, yes. Since her term is a new term and it is greater than the 12 months that are remaining, we will be required to have a special election. I will have to send out a notice of election. I also will have to send out notification for the qualifying time to be established. So I will be getting with the Secretary of State's office and the county to make sure that we can get this done as expedient as possible. Because normally special elections for this time of year would be in March.
I'll double check that.
Double check that
and,
behind me,
and
but
let
it
you know.
is, that is normally the procedure.
It's been moved and seconded on the executive session. All in favor?
All right.
We didn't do a motion,
We're adjourned, going into executive session.
I think.
Point of order, we need to vote on the accepting qualifiers.
Yeah.
I made the motion on the qualifying
Yeah.
fees, and Paul seconded. I make a motion that we adjourn to executive session.
I second that.
All in favor? Say aye. The executive session,
I move that we go back into regular session.
Second.
moved, second. Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Public forum, general comments. Maureen?
Thank you. I'm Maureen Platt, and I have lived here full-time for 30 years. I would like to address the council and the members here. I think it's very important in the coming year that we all ask you, thank you for your service. I really hope that you will attend the sessions. I sat in your chairs for 4 years, and I would ask you to please remember that your role and function is to represent the best interest of all the taxpayers and not to, and not to represent or not advance a personal agenda or an agenda that represents a private entity. And I would also like to thank the city employees for that snowstorm. And I would also like to mention that I chair Neighborhood Watch, and the police department has had to remove squatters. If you're not aware of it, I chair Neighborhood Watch, and I've been on the internet. There is a national organization, and I am finding that particularly when houses are for sale, they have a high risk of squatters. And our police department is watching that situation very, very carefully. But it's concerning to me because it's a national situation. And people just, I couldn't imagine, but people just do it. And then if they get into your property, sometimes you can have an expensive legal situation to get them out. So I thank our police chief and the police department. They're doing a super job. If you tell them when you're going to be out of town, which I did, I came back and found a card in my door. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other comments?
That's here. May I say something, Mayor?
Yes, sir, Mr.
Thank you.
Larson.
I'm Dr. Robert Larson. I've been in Raven County full-time since 2000. I've worked with Dr. Gillespie in his office and Connie at the same time. In that period, I got to know a lot of people, as did Connie, in Raven County, and an awful lot of people. I met, countless. I've been a member of Trout Unlimited. I do get along with a number of these people in Raven County. She has been president of the Sid Weber Foundation for 3 years, plus I can't even remember how many years before that she served in the Sid Weber, taking care of people in Raven County and Sky Valley and driving them to the doctors. She was president of the chapel a number of times, on the board a number of times. She worked on the POA, putting out the directory for years. And when she did that, she worked countless hours. She worked countless hours as president of the Sid Weber. I mean, I couldn't believe how much time she spent down there on the computer and working and going out and organizing things. And I just think that it's kind of shameful, and that it's come to this. It's a sad day for Raven County and Sky Valley when somebody like this, you know, is so strongly in favor of getting off this council after the way she has been so poorly treated by certain members of this council. And that's about all I have to say. I mean, I could go on for a half hour, but I'm not going to waste your time. Thank you.
I'm Helen Pfeiffer. I have 4 points, so I'll be quick. First of all, in the fall, when I presented information about the 2019 bicentennial celebration for the county, and I asked the council's support to have an activity in Sky Valley that will bring people to Sky Valley as a part of that celebration. It's going to be a year-long celebration, and the committee is hard at work. And with the new council, I just wanted to be sure that I still have the support of the council. So I know that Al had helped and said, I hope that you still will do that. And then 3 other questions that I would like answers to, if you have them. First of all, when you approved the meeting dates up on the agenda point number 4, you didn't say when the regular meetings are, and I didn't know if that has been established or not. But is it, I mean, today's...
I will post it on the website. Once
Okay.
it's approved, I'll post it on the website.
Okay, because I know today, Wednesday, is strange because Tuesday was holiday. Someone brought this to my attention, and I just wonder, and maybe City Works can answer this. The Christmas lights are beautiful, and I love the way they've been placed around. I think they look great. But I'm curious, they're on 24 hours a day, and I wondered if they could be put on timers.
They should be on timer, everything's on a timer.
But they're on all day. They're
Okay, we'll
lighted
check
all
it
day.
out.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how much energy that uses, but I would think if they could be on the timer, it would be good. But they're on.
And it could be the rain causing the timer to go bad. I mean, I don't know as much rain as.
I think the one in the very front, the rain
Okay.
did, definitely, they were off. But,
Okay.
and then my last point is, now that the Welcome Center space is empty, I wonder what is the possible use expected for that? Thank you.
Anything else? No, we don't have to. Got one more here. Anybody else has any comments?
Yeah, several hands.
You.
I'm Debbie Dalhouse Curtis. I want to thank Connie Larson for her selfless service, her dedication to what is best for the people, not just in Sky Valley, but in all of Raven County. I would like to ask our council this year, would you please refrain from personal attacks? Would you please act professionally and in the best interest of the whole community? with integrity, with honesty, and with compassion. Thank you.
Yes,
Two things. We had an incident at Valley View.
you are who?
Oh, I'm sorry, Liz Morley. You don't know me. Regarding the vagrant thing, this is the first I've heard of it.
Squatters?
Is it, oh, you're talking about not vagrants who are running around living in the woods. You're talking about people who are moving into homes. Okay, we had an incident at Valley View last Friday night where somebody was hanging on doorbells and prowling around, and so it was very concerning. And David Edwards responded, but he never mentioned anything about squatters or anything. So now on my antenna, thanks for bringing that up.
I'm keeping an eye out.
Oh, good. And the other thing is, oh, guys, we need a landscaper. The place is a mud pit. Obviously, our service people are overwhelmed with trees down, and I mean, it is a special year, and we need a landscaper more than ever. And perhaps you could work in conjunction with the club, because the club is hiring a landscaper, because it is a muddy hole. It's not welcoming when you come in. Yes, the lights are pretty, but there has been zero decor. And I remember when the visitor center used to be strung with garlands, and it was just gorgeous. And it's to the point where even the UPS guy says, "What happened to your flowers?" You know? I said, "What?" That's all.
Any other, Don?
I'm Don Kleiber, and a little bit about what Liz said. Why has the city not picked up all the branches and tree limbs that are all over the ditches, all over the roads, and as you come in, the fence that borders the hedges, a slat was out for 3 weeks, falling down. The pole was sticking out into the lane of traffic, and the pole is still sticking out in the lane of traffic. Now, I don't understand why the devil things can't be done around here.
May I respond to the trees that are down? I personally came up on my day off yesterday to come up and look at all the trees that were down, looking at some other items around, and I have actually spoken with James this morning, and I have given him the okay to work extra hours and weekends to get all the debris removed, because we do have so much. We had the storm that came in. It took us by surprise. They're short-handed. They've been doing all they can do. And I want to especially thank James and his crew and the police department through the storm for what they've done. But we're doing everything we can, and short of hiring a special contractor to come in here and clean up. And I would appreciate if y'all could give us, a few weeks to get this cleaned up. I understand it looks bad, but we're doing all we can do at this time.
Any other questions? If not, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.
There you go, baby. You can leave them.